what a game. Fun for our guys. We played number 2 Notre Dame a few weeks ago, and we are in a fight, and we feel like we're making progress, and then just offensively just got shut down the second half completely. So our challenge to the guys tonight was Miami's got one of the best defenses in the country. They're very much like Notre Dame. They penetrated up inside. They handled our offensive line, our backs, and our tight ends, and we had to do better if we were going to try to take a step. And what those guys did tonight is just remarkable, because Miami's really good. And I'm not sure anybody picked it that way. I'm not sure anybody saw it that way. I sure wouldn't have thought that we could have accomplished the things that we did tonight. Offensively, we were able to run the ball at will against a great defensive coach and great defensive players. Defensively, I thought we really played real well the first half. We went to sleep there in the second half, third quarter. Tried to put some young guys in. We weren't mature enough to do it. And Derek King's really, really good. But so proud of Tony Grimes. Boy, what a future he's got. A high school senior out there making one of the best interceptions that I've ever seen. We did miss a field goal, but we kicked off pretty good. And we didn't punt throughout the night, and we didn't turn the ball over. So, got the one turnover. So just really, really happy for these guys. I hope it works out where we get to go to the Orange Bowl. We haven't been to a major bowl since the 40s. So this would be an unbelievable accomplishment for these guys. Jeremy just told me that we haven't beaten a top 10 team since 2004, and that was Miami. So really a special night. And I'm so proud of these young guys. I'm proud of the way they've played. I'm proud of the way they've handled COVID. But they obviously have stepped up and played with much more confidence tonight than we did against Notre Dame 2 weeks ago. And I'm proud that we made that step forward.
Okay, great. Thanks, Coach. Looks like we've already got a handful of questions in the queue, so we'll get going here. Our first question comes from Kira Luck.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on your win. My quick question to you is that, this year, the one thing you've been kind of harping on is just finding out who this team is. And as this year closes out, the final game of the season, who is this North Carolina team?
Kiara, right now, we're a very confident team that played a full 60 minutes for the first time. Even though we had a couple of lapses on defense, that we played as a team. And that's something we had not been doing. And the offensive line, some days we've been so good we run for 500 yards, and some days we have trouble blocking. And tonight they really stepped up, and even without Ed Montelis, they stepped up and were very, very impressive. So the rest, Sam's always good when we give him time. I thought he managed everything really well tonight. The receivers are good. The running backs are as good as any in the country. But the offensive line and the tight end, that front seven group had to play well, and they did that well tonight.
All right, let's go over to Bridget Condon.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. Just with everything that happened this season, all the adversity and the fact that college football completed an entire season is kind of hard to fathom, with especially the numbers in America right now with the COVID-19 deaths. Just how proud are you of these guys for day in and day out, really being safe and accomplishing what they accomplished on the field as well?
Bridget, it's a great question, and thank you for asking it. I told them yesterday, I don't think people tell you enough that what you've done is absolutely remarkable. I never thought, I didn't think we'd get to play at one point this summer. And then I thought after the Charlotte thing, well, we're not going to get a full season in. And then I said, we're not going to get to the Notre Dame Miami game. And those are so special for these seniors. I want to get there, but we'll never get to those games because it just doesn't look good. And COVID's out there. And I didn't know till yesterday, they called a team meeting after we had our little spike this summer with workouts in July. And the older kids told the younger ones, this is it for us. We got 1 or 2 years left. We want to play. And if you don't want to play badly enough to stay out of restaurants or bars or parties or groups, then leave. But if you're going to be here, you're going to be part of this team. And when teams step up and the leadership is within, that's when you start getting better. And I didn't even know that, Bridget, till yesterday, when I heard Michael Carter. No, I heard Jeremiah Gemmel talking to the TV people, ABC people, about why we've done so well. And it wasn't us. It's been team driven, and our medical staff's done an outstanding job. But those kids decided they wanted to play, and because of that, they stepped up and did what they were supposed to do.
All right, let's go over to Dina King, please.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Everybody
Dana.
about your offense, but your defense made a huge impact in the momentum shift for UNC in this game. Just want your comments on that.
Yes, I thought the defense will be overshadowed by the offense tonight because of the numbers and just the sheer number of big plays. But I thought the defense really got it all started. And you start looking at De'Aaron King has just run up down the field against everybody. And we had 2 or 3 3-and-outs there in a row. And I thought, again, like our offensive coaches, that I told our coaching staff that these are the games that you have to coach. You have to do a great job if you're going to win, because the other team's got at least as good of players as you do, and maybe better. So this is what coaching's about. Coaching's not just beating somebody that you're better than. Coaching's beating somebody that's better than you, and putting your guys in positions to do that. And I thought our guys did a great job with plans on both sides tonight.
All right, next question comes from CL Brown.
Hi, Mack. What does it say to you about this team, given this coming into this game, to get this kind of performance? I mean, you already said that you felt like they played a full 60 minutes for the first time, but given a potential Orange Bowl bid, it was at stake here. What kind of statement do you feel that made?
CL, I think it makes a statement that we're a confident team that wasn't scared to go on the road against a team that's already won 10 games and with the Orange Bowl on the line. And that confidence is something I didn't think we had the second half of Notre Dame as a team. I thought we showed spurts, but as a team, we didn't have it. We weren't ready to step up and win that game. And this all happens in different phases for teams. Now it starts over again next year. But this team was ready tonight to be confident enough not to be afraid on the road, not to be afraid of a really good Miami team, not to be afraid of everybody saying they weren't good enough to win, and then playing for 60 minutes. So that's what I'm most proud of, is that the leaders on this team have taught this entire team, which is really, really young, to step up and play with confidence tonight.
Well, what do you think changed in that short time? Do you think it was the experience of being within striking distance and having a shot at winning that Notre Dame game, and that they gained confidence off of that? Like, what do you think changed in that short time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they saw that Notre Dame could win the national championship. They're really good. They're number 2 in the country, and it'll be a great game with Notre Dame Clemson this weekend. And they saw for the first time that we were close, and we had to make a play or two in that third quarter to hang in there. And even with a minute left, we still had a chance if there was a fumble and we could move it. But we got our head down. We got frustrated, and they put us in a position where we weren't confident offensively in the second half, and it was just the opposite tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Greg Barnes.
Hey, Mack, the running game set all kinds of records tonight. Could you speak to kind of what the game plan was coming in, how you thought you could exploit Miami, and then what the offensive line was able to do?
Greg, our 2 running backs are not good players. They're great players. And when they run the ball, when they get opportunities, when we can get them the ball in space, then we can throw it when we want. We had great protection tonight. Our whole thing is based on the success of our running game. So I thought more than even some games, we were more patient tonight with it too. We overcame 3 penalties on one drive with running the ball. And that's really, really hard to do. So I thought the offensive staff really worked at being patient and staying with the running game. And we ran it 3 straight times in the red zone once and didn't score. And I'm sure all the play callers out there were mad about that. But if you're going to run it, then you've got to run it. And tonight we got Michael in space. We got Javonte in space. And when we did, they made people miss, or they ran over them time and time again. And they're great players. So we've got to get it in their hands, and people are going to try to take it away. And we've got to be more stubborn than the defense to make sure we get the ball to great players.
Thank you.
And they take care of the ball. Knock on wood. Michael's sitting over here. I don't want to jinx him, but we take care of the ball. And as many times as these 2 guys run it, I've never seen anything like it. I think that combined they had the most yards of any 2 running backs in NCAA history tonight, and that's really, really special.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Coach, we got time for one more for you. Andrea Adelson, go ahead, Andrea.
As a follow-up to that, Mac, did you have any idea as you were watching the game unfold that they were on the cusp of making history? And I would just love your thoughts about your view from the sideline as you watched them make the plays that they made tonight.
Andrea, I was wanting to win this game so badly for these guys, since we hadn't beaten the top 10 team since 2004, and we hadn't been in this position before. I didn't want us to get relaxed. So I was coaching hard on that sideline. And I'd look up every now and then on the scoreboard, they'd have it, it'd say 344 yards rushing. I'd say, really? Oh my gosh. But you see Michael run. I've seen him all year for 2 years here, and you see him bounce out and he makes 42 yards, and I don't think anything about it. You know, I'm mad at him because he doesn't score, because he always does, and Javonte does. So I don't think, Andrea, that I had any clue how many yards we had rushed for at the end, and I didn't understand how many that those guys had rushed for. It was just amazing, and I should have, because you just see chunk after chunk after chunk. But these guys run tough up inside. Tonight, a lot of their yards were up inside and bounced out. And that's something that we didn't have opportunities against Notre Dame. So just really, really proud of everybody involved with that offense.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Safe travels back.
Thank you all. We will have a happy plane going back.